have a lot of extensive information here, but I would like to know just a little bit about yourself before we get to your actual list.
My name is Wellington.
I see that.
Alright. I love animals. I own my own dog, and sort of at home, I'm like my own kind of veterinarian, because I take care of my dog.
Well, one would hope that if you were a veterinarian, you would trust yourself enough to take care of your own animals. So yes, I'm glad you do that. Okay, so what inspired you to become a veterinarian? Because it seems as if this has been something that has been ongoing since around 1994.
Well, yeah, I've always loved animals since I was a kid, and I always just thought about it, like taking care of them, things like that. I see like animals in the forest.
What sort of animals in the forest do you prefer, Mr. Wellington?
Snakes, squirrels.
Have you had experience caring for said animals, Mr. Wellington?
Yes.
Okay, can you explain to what extent you've had, because I see that you have worked in a zoo, you were a biology teacher, you were a veterinarian assistant, you were a veterinarian assistant again, and then for the past 8 years, you're an enigma. So, considering that, can you just tell me what took you from working in a zoo to this, I don't know what you've been doing for the past 8 years, but it's not on your resume.
Wow. I haven't been working because I have kids. What?
How old are your children, Mr. Wellington?
I have a son. Yes, 15.
Okay, so in terms of your own children, do you believe that you've instilled that love of animals to your children?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what would you do, because not only are you a parent, you're a doctor, who apparently, not on your resume, but on your cover letter says that you've been at the Federal Veterinary Healthcare System at Suffern. I'm not sure if that's in the high school or something. I'm sorry. So, with that experience, and obviously you've dealt with a plethora of animals in your day, if you have spoken to a family, let's say it was your own son, and their dog was going to die, and you had to euthanize that dog, how would you handle that experience with that family?
I'd probably cry with them.
Okay. That's fair.
I'll tell them everything's going to be okay. Like, these kind of things happen. People go, like, everything grows old.
There's a time for everyone. They come and they go, right?
No, not that, like, people come and go. It's just the way of life.
Okay. Now, in terms of your experience, because it's just so extensive, what was the most challenging experience you have encountered as a veterinarian?
One time I had to deal with like an anaconda.
Oh.
What?
So you're more into the reptile thing than the canines.
No, I'm on the dog side, but
So canines.
Canines, yes.
Okay.
But usually like reptiles need more, assistance. So I had to deal with anaconda and everything.
Okay. Yes.
I was actually kind of afraid because I watched the movies.
Nothing.
No, the movie Anaconda.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was a veterinarian special. What did you have to do to deal with this anaconda? There was no broom involved, right?
No.
Okay, cool.
Actually, I had to tell myself, this is my job, so this is what I have to do. I have to buck up.
Okay, but what are you bucking up to do with the anaconda? What was the issue, Mr.
Oh, the issue with
Dr.
the anaconda.
Wellington?
The issue with the anaconda was it got cut. Like
A veterinarian dogs.
it got cut. I don't remember exactly how it got cut, but I know I had to stitch it up.
Okay, so that may have been while you were a veterinary assistant where it says dress and suture wounds and implied splints and other protective devices.
Exactly.
Okay, so now, one of the things that tends to be very difficult when we're dealing with animals versus people is we do have insurance as human beings. Usually we have insurance, but that's not always the case with animals. So if you had a family come in with their dog, and the dog had Addison's disease, and the dog needed extensive medical care, including surgeries, and they did not have the financial means of paying for the operations and the medicine and all of those things, how would you handle that so that not only are you helping the family with their 3- and 5-year-old children, but you are also making sure that you are maintaining the integrity of our institute by not losing any money for us?
In that sort of situation, since I don't want to see a family suffer with their animals, I would actually
I never like to see anything suffer either.
Me either. So I would actually probably treat their animal at home because I have the equipment at home.
Oh, look at you.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Yes. So, I do it at home instead of because they don't have the money.
So you would take it upon yourself to finance this.
Yes.
That is a very noble thing to do, Dr. Wellington. Now, the other thing that I find interesting is you say that you've done a lot of surgical treatments for animals. To what extent? What types of surgeries have you done? Have you spayed and neutered animals?
Oh yes, of course.
Okay, and what is your stance on spaying and neutering young animals?
Can you rephrase that question in a different kind of way?
Do you think that there is a benefit for spaying and neutering your animals?
Is there a benefit? Oh, yes, of course.
Which would be?
With dogs, some the families, they can't really take care of all the puppies that the dogs have because dogs don't really have just one puppy.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of it's a whole bunch of other responsibilities.
Okay, and one other thing that has been quite an issue with the veterinarian population lately is the idea of the immunizations. Now, some dogs, if you give them, we'll work with dogs since that's kind of your specialty. And there's the idea of sometimes dogs are at risk of getting Lyme's disease. Do you think that the shot is beneficial, or do you think that maybe they should be taking the medicines that repel the ticks? What do you think would be the best course of action, and how would you guide a family?
First of all, most of those issues can be resolved with flea collars.
So you can get rid of ticks with flea collars?
No. There's ambulatory for ticks and stuff like that.
And stuff like that. What
I'm
stuff?
sorry, I didn't mean to say stuff like that.
All right. Well, in terms of your experience, there's obviously there's no doubt that you love animals. My only fear is that you've had a bunch of different experiences. Why do you think that someone who has had multiple experiences in different avenues in the field is someone we should hire versus someone who's had extensive experience just as a veterinarian?
Because I've seen it all. I've seen animals in zoos, all kinds of places.
Okay. And do you think that your experience as a biology teacher helped you?
Yes.
How?
Animals are living creatures.
And you dissected them?
No. Biology doesn't have to do just dissect.
Not all, yes. Wellington?
Actually, yes. Let's start.
I will have to speak to my partners, have a couple more interviews today, and I will get back to you. Okay? Thank you.
Oh my God.